Welcome back to ECE 320. I'm entitling this short video Navigating the Course, and I hope, since this is an abbreviated time length that we're dealing with in this online class, since it's spread over 5 weeks, this is a 15-week semester course condensed down into a 5-week time span. I want to make sure that everyone is ready to run when we hit the ground, and for that reason I'm creating this short video to help us all get started and to be a little bit more comfortable with what we're dealing with. To start, let me just say that there's three immediate action items that you need to take care of, and maybe even four if you are taking the 910 section, which is the off-campus version of this class. First, you need to make sure that you register into the Mastering Engineering website, and the course ID for this particular class, you want to make sure that you get into the correct class. It's Mastering Engineering, or ME, my last name Tharp, and then the last five numerical values, 67242. That should then, once you go to the Mastering website, which you can link to by pearsonmastering.com, you should come into and you get into the correct course, which is ME Tharp 67242 for ECE 320 in the summer. You now have this calendar in front of you. I've already posted 3 different assignments on that website: an introduction to mastering, homework 1 and homework 2, and those dates are indicated here. You can then look at the assignments. Obviously this will look a little different than what you're seeing since I'm coming in as an instructor, but you now have the different assignments. You can look at, and again, I'm not sure if that's how you will access the different assignments that you're interested in, but for example, homework number 1 is consisting of these 4 problems. You can then look at these problems, and I'm just showing you what you might do in terms of entering your answer. You might put in, for example, 5 watts and hit submit, and it's going to say, oh, that's incorrect. You could then say, well, what have I actually entered as items? And I'm giving you unlimited submissions, I hope. I've set it up that way. Let's say that you're now tired of the first problem, and you don't want to hit continue, because that will force you to basically give up, and I would recommend not giving up until you're really tired of the problem, or you can email me with questions or concerns. But let's say you want to go to the next problem, you can then simply hit the next button up near the top of the page, and this now takes you to the second problem. You read that, you say, oh, I'm not sure I want to do that. You then hit the next problem, and actually it wouldn't be a bad idea for you to actually scan through these in preparation for a particular unit, and in this case unit 1, so that you get a feel for the terms, the types of problems that you're dealing with, etc. And this particular homework set, homework number 1, which is coming to us from unit 1, I've tried to label them consistent. You would then look at these particular problems that are coming to us out of the textbook, which is the Nielsen and Rydell textbook that you've already used in ECE 220, the 10th edition. You have access to, from this Mastering Engineering website, you have access to the e-text, and I'm guessing you already have experience with that. We will be starting the class in Chapter 10, which means you can now open up and look at those. In terms of trying to get through the material quickly, you might look at the summary or actually you probably would want to start with the overview and the objectives. Then you might jump back to the summary and just see, what am I trying to learn? Maybe now you've studied the material and you're again looking at the summary and you say, oh, what about instantaneous power? If you have these links highlighted, which is indicated here by this link or links of chain, you can click on 360 and it will take you to that particular material. Then if you want to go back to the summary, you can go up to the left-hand page and go, take me back to the last page that I visited. And I'm guessing you're very comfortable with the mastering navigation strategy for these ebooks. You could also, if you have good eyes, you could say, well, I want to see this in a 2-page format. You can do that again from the taskbar or the menu bar up above, and now you can maybe more effectively look like you're reading a standard textbook when you're in the electronic version. You could also make this look a little bit fuller on your screen by going to the projector mode, or you can then have access to more immediate buttons and maybe more buttons than what you might have in the projector mode. Let's go back to the single page, but this I hope gives you an idea of how to scan through the textbook. You will then want to pre-read some of the problem assignments that I'm going to give you, and that's one way for helping you navigate the course, and that's to get you started. You need to register again. That's immediate action item 1 with the homework website, which is Pearson Mastering with this course ID. The next immediate action item is to allow me to become a little bit more familiar with you, and that's through creating a passport. You can find the passport on the website of the class, which is d2l.arizona.edu. What you will see is a little different than this. I still haven't posted this material to the course website. This is now the home page or the news page, which you should be able to get to by clicking on the Arizona link in the upper left hand if you're in that particular class. You can already see that I've created 3 different assignments in the first week. Here's a welcome message that contains some links to the mastering website. It contains a link to the introductory video, and subsequent to recording this video, it will have a link to this video that you can then watch again and again as you would like. But most of the information that you will find will be obtained from the content page. If you want to see it all, you might want to click on Table of Contents. Now you have course business, student orientation, and the rest is really the significant or the meat part of the class, which we've divided up into units. Unit 0 are the preliminaries. If you look at the Unit 0 assignment, that now has this passport, and there's even a short video explaining the passport assignment. You will complete that and then submit that into the passport Dropbox. All of your other assignments, which will be recorded on the grades page, you can see your grade will consist of homework, exams, and final. Those homework will all be coming through the Mastering website. You'll submit all of your work and work your problems through the Mastering Engineering website. Hopefully it will be clear to you how to navigate through, but it's really laid out very linearly, and we will just sequence through these different units, Unit 0 through Unit 12, down to the final exam material on the D2L website, and each of these are laid out consistently. And again, that brings us back to item 2, which is in Unit 0, the passport assignment that I want you to complete. The next one will be due on Wednesday of this upcoming week, the 10th of June, and that's homework assignment number 1. You'll want to work through Unit 1 material in order to be able to work homework 1, and homework 2 is also scheduled for this week, which is Thursday, and then our first exam of 4 is this Friday during the class time that's listed on the course website. Unless, of course, or in the course syllabus, you are in the 9-10 section, then you will be taking your exam through a proctor, which you need to secure this proctor by Wednesday of this week so that I know who to send the exams to and who I'm communicating with. If it isn't clear yet, the course is really built around exams with some homework sprinkled throughout, but there's 4 midterm exams and the final. Each midterm exam is worth 15%. The homeworks as a collection will be worth 15%, and the remaining part of your grade, which is 25%, is coming through the final exam. If you want to get a feel for how you might think about the class time-wise and commitment-wise during this 5-week interval, I've tried to organize those on a calendar. The green numbers are the lectures that you will find in the different units. For example, on this calendar you might see lecture 3.2 in green indicated. That means we're in Unit 3, Lecture 2. The homework assignments are just H with a number, 1 through 12, and the exams are E, 1 through 4, and then the final will just be called Final Exam. You can see then that in this particular 5-week interval, you are having these exams on Fridays or the end of the weeks, except for the last 2. The university will be closed. There's no classes on July 3rd, which is a Friday, so we now have our 4th exam on a Thursday, and the final exam, which again is worth 25% of your grade, is on the following Thursday, which is the 9th of July. Mixed in there are all these green labels, which are the lectures that consist of lectures and videos in each of these units, and you'll see lecture 0.1 through lecture 12.1 on the calendar of the semester. Those homeworks, as you can see, are generically due on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, except in the last 2 weeks when they're Tuesday and Wednesday. You have several resources to work with in this class. You have the textbook. Either you can get a soft copy through Mastering Engineering, or maybe you've purchased a hard copy. You have the Mastering Engineering website, which deals with the homework, and there's study aids in that e-text. And you have the D2L website, which I've said is separated into units, with each unit containing at least 1 set of notes and videos. There's also topics and timings for you. If you want to jump to a particular topical segment, you can. And really, here is a strategy for how you might navigate each of these units. You might read through the unit overview, which is at the top of each of the D2L units. You can examine the homework for that unit. The hard copy or PDF of that homework assignment should be at the bottom of the unit. You can go to the Mastering Engineering website and look at those homework problems. Those homework problems you can then use to cue you into the appropriate textbook material. I would then suggest that you watch the videos after looking at the textbook and reading the textbook. Watch the videos. You can start and stop. You can participate by supplementing the notes that are given on D2L or introducing your own annotation. Then you need to work through the homework for that unit, again, submitting it through the Mastering website. Once you've done that, when you're getting ready to work through for the exam, you'll want to study those homework solutions that I will post on at the bottom of each unit. You'll want to check out the practice exams that are dealing with the homework that has occurred prior to that exam. Look at the style and the depth of those questions, and then you just repeat that sequence where, as you can see from this calendar, you're going to have 3 or 2 homework assignments for each exam. And that's, for example, E1 will be covering topics dealing or that were dealt with on homeworks 1 and 2. Exam 2 will deal with homeworks 3, 4, and 5, etc. If you have questions, I am holding office hours on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday in our classroom, Harville 107, from 1 to 2 each of those days. Or you can send me an email. I haven't included the obvious information after the @ sign. That's available on the syllabus, which is found on the D2L course site. Again, our exams are 3 Fridays and 2 Thursdays. That represents the majority of your grade. The homeworks, again, are on the schedule listed under course business or in the preliminary section. And if you are an online student or in the 9-10 section, make sure and establish a proctor and get that done this week so that I can communicate with them and you can take the exams when we need to, which are on those 3 Fridays and 2 Thursdays. I hope this was helpful, and good luck with the class.